Hello, everyone, and welcome to the
Uh,
Talladega Super Speedway for the Champs Speed Shot 175. It should be a pretty damn good race. We have just gotten fired up here. I think the boys are just about to get ready to go out for a pit party. As you can see, the track looks pretty empty right now. Let's go see where these boys are at. Got Daryl McKee there on screen. A couple new liveries. If we go and have a look at the 24, Frank Isaacson going with the chrome look all across the top of the car. Very nice indeed. And if we also go and check out the 3 car there of Brian Harris, he's gone for a new look paint as well. And I'm pretty sure we go to the 12 of Matt Burgess, he's also sporting a new paint. A very weird paint there for the 12 car. More quote unquote streamline, he says. Whatever. Either way, we are getting ready to get going. We've also got some new faces in here, like the 27 car here just behind the 50 of Christian Budd. That is going to be Jonathan Bell, a A-Class 1.35, 2944 I-rating driver from California. Good to see some new faces coming into the fold as we are indeed getting ready for the pit party here. And we're going to be riding on board with another new guy to the league, Andrew Perkins from California in the 77 car. This will be Perkins' first race with us as well. Not sure if we got any other new guys. I'm just having a quick look through the list. I think there's anyone new in here. He looks like he's just going to be run, so we're going to hold back and look at Jaron. Pretty sure Jaron will be the front of the pit party. Guys start getting all lined up. Make our way through a tri-oval. We'll start getting going soon. There's the 77 who waited up for the rest of the pack. With 5 of Mark Pinty the cuff there, just coming out of the pits, and we're off and racing for a pit party. Jaron Sanchez with a huge lead right now. That's over the 7 of Stephen Abigail, who is actually a new guy as well. My apologies for not having a look at him before. He's a 32-34 A-Class 2.07. And I don't think I covered Andrew Perkins before. He's a B-Class 1.87, 1703. At the moment, Jaron Sanchez still holding on to the lead somehow, even though he had no help for the most of that lap. Starting to get caught up by Brandon Bennett here, and on the outside, the 50 car of Christian Budd, working with the new guy, Stephen Abigail, and he is getting a big old push there, and it should put him towards the lead, but that outside line looks very disorganized right now. Now, Abigail taking it 3 wide on the outside, trying to make the move around both Christian and Jaron. He's going to have the help from the other league rookie in Jonathan Bell. Go thundering down the back straight. This is a great little camera. Get to see all the speed that the drivers hold there on the yellow line. And we should be seeing some interesting shots coming from it later on in the race. 3 wide towards the back of the pack, but Jaron Sanchez still holding on to the advantage. Brandon Bennett is one hell of a pusher. Both of them running the Output Racing League cars. With Aussie Sim commentator on them, I'm pretty sure they've got Miller's Creatures Comforts on them as well. One car got the Nexus Inspector on it. On the outside line, here comes Christian Budd and the 20 of Derek Myers. Just behind Derek is the 12 of Matt Burgess, who's going to take over the pushing duties now as Christian Budd's taken over the lead of the bottom line. That's going to put Jaron from leader to pusher. The outside line looked like it's starting to gain a little bit of momentum there. But the 24 of Frank Isaacson on the extreme outside. Behind him, I'm not actually too sure who that is. Like it's the 38 of Thomas Harmon, also sporting a new livery for this one. Thomas just bailed out of that and pulls down underneath Frank. Frank just not quite able to hold the speed that Thomas was looking for up there. 50 of Christian Budd continues to lead from the 4 of Jaron Sanchez on the bottom line. Derek Myers still holding on to the middle. It looked like the 12 of Matt Burgess was trying to make the outside line there work. Thought better of it though. Frank actually pulled outside to the outside lane again. Didn't have any help, so he pulled back inside. Now Jaron forcing his way to the lead of the second line, forcing Derek Myers to the outside. Got the 3 car in there of Brian Harris. The inside line starting to get a little bit squirrely. And now Jaron's been forced to the outside line. And we've got the wreck. I was waiting for it, and it was a big one. Now we've got a very reduced field, as we saw in the background there. Jaron just absolutely get cleaned up coming out of turn 2. Christian Budd still in the lead of this little pack. We're going to have the 94 car. That is Daryl McKee on the outside there. Got Jonathan Bell, who is second in line now on the outside, and the 9 car of Jared Pashley on the inside line. Jared making his return to the Output Racing League last week at Richmond. Oh, and the 94 of Daryl McKee's gone around now. See everyone go down to the apron to try and avoid. Looks like just on the back of this pack is Brian Pizzicami, but I think he might have just come out of the pits. So he's not actually holding on to the draft. There's the 9 of Pashley running the Pepsi scheme. 88 of Jonathan Hernandez running the high line there. Out of sync with these guys. As I think that was Brian Pizzicami in the background there who pulled off onto the apron. Now Jonathan Bell leading that inside line, but now everyone wants to try and take over the lead as the 88 of Justin Hernandez practices a pit entry. Oh, and Jonathan Bell and Christian Budd have gone around. We missed what happened there. So let's go and have a look at it. Slow it down a bit here. Might be a little bit too much. 38 of Thomas Harmon trying to make it 3 wide. Turns Christian Budd into the nose of Jonathan Bell. That put both of them around. These 3 are still battling it out for pit party honours. Let's just say that this is the start of the last lap here. Let's see who's going to win it out of these 3. At the moment, it's looking like it is going to be the 7 of Stephen Abigail. Holding on to the lead over Pashley. and the 38 of Thomas Harmon. Now Pashley moving to the outside lane, trying to get the push from Thomas Harmon. Very quickly got shoved out of the way there though. Pashley forcing his way to the inside of Jaron Sanchez there, trying to take the lead away. Doesn't look like he's quite going to have the help to do it though, as this inside line is very organised with the push from Thomas Harmon. Pashley's been left out to dry, and Stephen Abigail wins this pit party. Not a bad way to kick off the Chance Speed Shop 175 here from the Talladega Super Speedway. As we only have about 13.5 minutes here left in practice before we go qualify. Honestly, these guys will probably want to start pulling it into the pits to start up another pit party, because the best practice you can get here at Talladega is just constant pit parties. Being pack racing like it is, trial by fire pretty much when you do pit parties. These four cars still rolling around in tandem. Now we're starting to get some people pull out. Let's see how this works out for that outside line there. That's Jaron Sanchez and the 19 car of Matt Horton. The two-car tandem is meant to be very strong around here. We'll have to see how it works out for both of these two groups too. I think Horton beat them to the line that time. Sanchez and Horton doing everything they can to push through. Horton was clear for a brief second there. This is a track where you'll make a lot of friends and where you'll lose them pretty much instantaneously. You're definitely going to be using them. Let's set iRacing back to focus on crashes. Let's see what's going on around the rest of the track, if it wants to show us anything else. At the moment it's keeping us with this little pack here. As all four of these cars catch up to another two-car tandem. That is Mark Pentecoff and Christian Budd. Currently, Travis Masia has the top time at 46.992. That is an absolutely amazing time. Matt Burgess, P2 with a 47.136, and no one able to match Travis Masia's time at the moment. A full 10th and a half clear of everyone else, which around Talladega is a crazy huge margin. Pretty sure he did it in a pit party previously that I was a part of earlier in practice. As we got about 10 minutes left now in practice. These guys will probably want to be doing another pit party very, very shortly. So I'm saying that this little group's looking pretty tight together. Oh, and there it goes. It all goes wrong. and only 2 have survived from that. I think Matt Bird actually melted into the wall. 50 of Christian Budd and Jaron Sanchez both taken out in that one. Now on screen have Thomas Harmon, Corey Williamson, Travis Massia and Jared Pashley. These 4 looking to do a pit entry practice, all 4 of them. Oh, Pashley getting it all kinds of wrong, going onto the grass, missing the pit lane entry there. 24, Frank Isaacson goes around. I say that's pit entry area. It looks like we've got a lot of people in the pit, so we are very well looking at another pit party coming up here shortly. Who we have up at the front of this thing? And it's going to be Darryl McKee leading us away by the looks of things. Maybe not. Jaron Sanchez taking the point. Outside of him is going to be Christopher Spencer in the 17 car. Gold trim going down the left side of his car there, just off center. Fizikemi is lining up in P3. Travis Massia is going to line up out of 4th. Alright, so we're ready for another pit party here. 6 minutes left in practice. A little bit of bumping and squirming going on towards the middle pack there. Thomas Harmon gets put to the apron on the outside line. Here comes Christian Budd, full speed ahead. And he takes over the lead as he just got to the pack when they went green. I dare say they're going to catch up to him very quickly when they all get to speed. Another slow car up ahead as well. That's going to be the 6th car of Evan Rice. Here comes everyone back past Christian now. Fizikemi is absolutely hounding that rear bumper of the Sanchez car. Just is willing him more and more forward as he can. And it's working at the moment. Oh, Sanchez down on the apron, pulls out of it. They're 3 wide. The camera just got run over. Oh, Jaron gets taken out by Thomas Harmon, who got put sideways. That's definitely not the way Jaron Sanchez saw that one going. Go back up to the back now. 7 of Stephen Abigail is leading the way, but Brian Pizzicani takes the inside line on him. The 12 of Matt Burgess going to the pit lane. I've just got this set to focus on crashes. It's going to go to wherever they think the next crash is going to be, although they are 3 by 3 up ahead. These guys are pushing the absolute limit with 4.5 minutes left in practice. Where you stress test your machine, see what it is capable of. Work out the tolerances, like where it's going to blow up, where it's safe to push, where it's not safe to push, and how hard you can push them. Don't be seeing too many people doing qualifying simulation runs, because qualifying at the end of the day around here at Talladega really doesn't matter. It is all about how they handle the racing, as we got some cars going around. That looks like the 99 of Dustin German, who went around off the nose of Pizzicami, I think. Back up to the front of the pack now. Got Travis Massier leading the way. He's getting pushed by Chris Champeau, the sponsor for today's race. Got the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez on the outside line with the 20 car of Derek Myers. Don't forget, guys, go check out the Champ Speed Shop. The Champ Speed Shop 175 here from the Talladega Super Speedway. The official merchandiser of the Output Racing League. Oh, and we have the big one. It's only taken the entirety of practice, but we have the crash that's taken out the entire field. There are cars absolutely everywhere. I think only Brandon Bennett, Frank Isaacson, Thomas Harmon survived that. Thomas Harmon right now, right behind Frank. We have a minute and a half here left in practice, so we are going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, guys, we will be setting the grid after these guys have qualified, so make sure you guys stick around and stay tuned. Alrighty guys, we are back. And it's time for us to start loading up the grid here for the Champ Speed Shop 175 here from the Talladega Super Speedway. On the pole, we're going to have the 50 car of Christian Budd. His outside will be the 14 of Keith Calhoun. Starting out of P3 is going to be the sponsor for today's race, the 2 of Chris Champeau. And on his outside will be the 94 of Daryl McKee. Starting out of the 5th position will be the 17 car of Christopher Spencer, and on his outside will be the 13 of Travis Massia. Then out of P number 7, we're going to have Michael Sturgill in the 90 car, and on his outside is going to be the 27 of Jonathan Bell. We're going to have the 21 of Brian Chambliss out of P9 with the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez out of P10. We're going to have Clayton Ward in the 44 car starting from P11 with the 24 of Frank Isaacson starting out of P12. 77 of Andrew Perkins will be out of 13th with the 3 of Brian Harris starting out of 14th. The 5 of Mark Pentecup will be out of 15th with the 20 of Derek Myers out of P16. The 38 of Thomas Harmon will be out of 17th with the 69 in the standings with the 20 car on track of Justin Botello starting out of 18th. The 68 of Ashton Schleiss will be out of 19th with the 6 of Evan Rice out of 20th. The 7 of Stephen Abigail will be out of 21st with the 28 of Zach Floyd starting out of 22nd. The Ford league owner and operator Jaron Sanchez will be out of 23rd. The 99 of Dustin German starting from 24th. 25th position will see the 19 of Matt D. Horton. On his outside will be the 18 of Brian Beach. Starting out of 27th is going to be the 12 car of Matt Burgess. On his outside will be the 1 of Brandon Bennett. And we are going to have the 9 car, of Jared Pashley out of 29th. And out of 30th will be the 78 of Brian Pizzicami. And last but not least, from the 31st position, we're going to have the 81 of Corey Williamson. 32 cars registered for the session, which includes myself. 31 cars to take the green flag. We've got a strength of field in this one of 27.07. Absolutely nothing to sneeze at. Now it's all up to our drivers to try and get this going as we wait on this long pace lap before the start of the race. Lots of things going through these drivers' heads, especially if you're in the middle of the pack. Look about trying to stay safe and keep your car till the end and get yourself into a position to win. Roll through turn 3. The last chance that these drivers are going to have to just sit there and think. And as we get into the tri-oval, we're going to crank up the volume and we are going to do a little bit of a crank it up. Pace cars in. I'm going to be quiet here for a minute. So let's crank it up for the start of the Champ Speed Shop 175 here from the Talladega Super Speedway.
Go, go, go. Green flag.
And it's all gone wrong already for the 13 of Travis Massia, who is caught down in the grass. Sorry, we had to break the silence there. The 20 of Justin Botello also caught up in that. No caution though as we go back to the front of the pack. I was really hoping that we could do that one for a little bit longer, but apparently not. as we have Christian Budd, Darryl McKee, Keith Calhoun, and Jonathan Bell in a breakaway 4-car pack. Wait for everyone to cross the start-finish line so we can get a proper representation for where everyone's at. 5th is Sturgill, 6th is Clayton Ward, 7th is Harris, Isaacson in 8th, Perkins in 9th, and Chris Champeau in 10th. Still waiting for a few people across the line. Like, everyone but Travis Massia has crossed it at the moment, I think. Oh, no, wait, no, there he goes. He's just crossed the line now. Very shortly, Travis is actually going to get caught up by these leaders because he's all by himself, no draft assistance at all. Another person who might be struggling is a 90 of Michael Sturgill, sitting here in the 5th position. He's in a little bit of no man's land as well, but he's going to get caught up by this second pack, who's being led by the 44 of Clayton Ward, and that should help propel those guys up towards the front of the pack here. We've got, I think that's a 6 of Evan Rice just behind, just at the back of this pack. The next pack after that, being led by the 7 of Steve Abigail. Got Zach Floyd right on his behind. Can't see who that is wrapping up this little pack. I think that's a 99 Dustin German, in fact it is. We've got a lot of little packs going throughout this field at the moment. And Michael Sturgill actually impresses me here because he's caught up to this front pack. He didn't want to wait until the second pack caught up to him. As the yellow line camera here just about got destroyed by Darryl McKee there. That second pack is definitely on a charge. They are within a second of this main pack, so they're definitely going to be catching up very quickly here. In fact, there they are on screen now. The field is all spread out throughout this entire track. It's going to be hard for these guys to catch up. I think he might have actually had something else happen. My timing software going a little bit buggy. Yes, that's all it is. Now we have a big main pack here for the front of the track. And focus on our leader, the 50 of Christian Budd, as the 3 of Brian Harris going out very wide there for some unknown. He wanted to try and get to the back of this pack, but he went very wide there in a tri-oval. Field snaking their way down the back straight now. We should be starting to see a little bit of 2x2 action. Some of these guys want to either drop to the back or try and move their way up a little bit more forward. There's Jonathan Bell sitting there on the outside trying to take over third. But he's got no help, so it's not going to work for him at the moment. The 50 of Christian Budd still in the lead of this race. It looks like the 3 of Brian Harris might be there to offer Jonathan Bell a little bit of assistance here, as these guys creep ever so closer to the 13 of Travis Massia. Was looking good early, held the fastest time in practice for the entire session. And it looks like now Jonathan Bell with a huge charge on that outside line, aided by Brian Harris. And Brian has just stepped out of the line, and that has destroyed the run that outside line had to Chris Champeau, who was checking up to let 3 back into line. Got a little bit of a tap there from the 6 of Evan Rice. As everyone's now making their way around the 13 car of Travis Massia, the only car 1 lap down at the moment. These guys start to pull away from that second pack that's catching up to them. Looks like we do have people who are trying to experiment with some alternate dimensions within this pack area. And that might be the 77 of Andrew Perkins, but I can't be too sure on that. In fact, I think it was, because I think he just pulled it down to the pits. Try and save everyone else by putting himself out of it. And now Jonathan Bell takes over the lead of that inside line after getting a big push from the 3 of Brian Harris. And now Christian Budd right up on his bumper, giving him the push of his life. They cross the lead. Jonathan Bell officially leads the lap. He did officially lead the last one too, but I wasn't paying attention to it because I was looking at the guy experiencing the portaling problems. In fact, no, he's not in the pits. He's still on track, I think. Down in the 30th position. It's hard to keep track of where he's at because of the portal use. Oh, and now our leader, Jonathan Bell, trying to experiment with some portals of his own. That probably gave Christian Budd there a little bit of a freak out. On the outside line, no, we got Evan Rice and Brian Harris trying to take the lead away. Brian Harris was scored as the leader of that lap. Leaders go past our speed camera here on the yellow line. I don't think Travis Massia was actually able to hold on to this pack when they went past him. But guys, we're going to open up the radio waves here, see what these drivers are talking about. Oh, we're not. We have a big crash. Go back and see what's happened to our leaders here. It's settled down as they're coming out of the tri-oval. Was it a bad push or was it a little bit of blocking? Oh, Jonathan came up into the 3 of Brian Harris. Both cars into the wall, flipping wildly. Keith Calhoun. Lucky to escape that one. Frank Isaacson, oh no, not so lucky at all. Getting a part of that one. Brian Harris, that is his day done, unfortunately. Like our leaders are just trying to catch up to the pace car here. So let's go and bring up one of the guys caught up in that. Hey, Brian, Corey up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah.
Man, first and foremost, your car looks amazing. You've done a very good job on that. But unfortunately, she's a little bit bent, man. Um, what happened from your perspective there?
Honestly, I don't know. I had to go back and look at the replay, and looking at the replay, it looks like maybe he kind of came up. But I mean, there was issues with netcode where I wouldn't even touch anybody. I was getting 0x's. I don't know what happened other than he came across my nose and the car is dead.
Well, that is very unfortunate, man. You've just been having such a run of bad luck lately. Horrible to see. Hopefully next week, we can see you in a little bit of a better position.
I will see.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, Brian. Anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
No, I'm good.
All right. No worries, man. Catch you later.
Yep.
All right, guys. A very dejected Brian Harris there, unfortunately. Let's see if we can have a quick little chat here with Jonathan Bell. Hey, Jonathan. Corey up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Uh, it looked like just a little bit of close racing there gone wrong. What was it like from your perspective?
Well, as soon as Christian, I believe, is 50 cars behind me, and I saw he was a little bit on my right corner pedal, so I came up a little bit just to get a more flush in case he wanted to bump me into the corner. So I came up a little bit, and then as soon as I made contact, I knew it was netcode because, yeah, I could just tell because I got multiple 0x's before I even turned. And that's basically what it was, just about 2 feet of netcode and just turned us. It's unfortunate, but, it is what it is. It was fun up there for the front for a little bit.
Well, unfortunately, man, it's not a great way to make your league debut, but you definitely look like you got pace. So hopefully you can have some good luck as we head into next week.
Yeah, well, it'll be more of a skill based race next week for sure. A little more pack racing, anyone can win it. But it was fun up there in front, so I can't wait for next week.
Anyone you want to give a quick shout out to before we let you go?
I'll just shout out to the boys at Outrun for helping me out. Always giving me tips and stuff at racing. So they're a great group, and that's about it. I mean, it was fun for a little bit.
All right. Well, thank you very much, man, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.
Yep, I'll see you guys later.
All right, guys. So that was Jonathan Bell, a league rookie here today. Unfortunately, that's the end result. Let's head back into looking at our leader now, Christian Budd, in the 50 car. Looks like everyone's coming for a pit stop. And Jared Pashley taking 2 tires on that stop. We're going to have Christian Budd, Daryl McKee, Jared Pashley, Sturgill, Keith Calhoun, Clayton Ward, Chris Champo, Brian Chambliss, Zach Floyd, and Stephen Abigail. I know that I'm butchering Stephen's name. I just know it. I'm just having a proper look at it now, and I just know I'm butchering it. My apologies, Stephen. But either way, that is our top 10. We've got Schleiss, Harmon, Rice, Myers, Perkins, Botello, Isaacson, Horton, Beach, and Bennett as your top 20. With Burgess, Sanchez, Pentecoff, Williamson, Macia, Hernandez, Dustin German, who I think might have taken his car out, Pizzakemi, and Spencer as your last remaining cars there on the lead lap. So far, DNFs for Brian Harris and Jonathan Bell. Guys, we're going to go for a quick commercial break here. When we come back, we'll be good be getting ready to go back to green here for the Champs Speed Shop 175 here for the Talladega Motor Speedway. Or sorry, Talladega Super Speedway. They get murdered for that one. Alright guys, welcome back to the Champs Speed Shop 175 here from the Talladega Super Speedway. Christian Budd leading the way with McKee, Sturgill, Calhoun, Ward, Champeau, Chambliss, Floyd, Schleiss and Abagai. I'm just going to call him Steven for the rest of this race until I find out how to pronounce his name. We are 16 laps in to this 70 lap race, and I have found out through some pit reporting that Dustin German is out of the race. He tried experimenting with some alternate dimensions and he has not returned. So Godspeed Dustin German. Hopefully whatever dimension you are in, you are safe. As the pace car now pulls down to the infield, trying to get ready to get going again. Now, first start was on the leader. All these was on the green actually. All these restarts are going to be on the leader. So it's up to Christian when he wants to go. He could wait for green if he so chooses, and that looks like what he's going to do. We're off and racing again here for the Champs Speed Shop 175 from the Talladega Super Speedway. Sturgill with a pretty good start behind the 50 car there. But the 94 Darryl McKee holding onto that outside line with Keith Calhoun right behind him. Keith actually looking like he's going to be giving a push here to McKee very shortly. He's closer to giving him a push than what Sturgill is to pushing Budd. In fact, it looks like McKee and Calhoun on that outside line taking the advantage. McKee going to lead the way as we come through turns 3 and 4. Christian Budd now hot on his tail. The thing is there with that situation is that McKee definitely just let Calhoun stay up there to try. Not giving him all the help he possibly could have then. Christian Budd looking to the outside there for a brief second. Thought better of it because there's not really too much help at the moment if he was to go up there. Leaders driving off of the yellow line. I love this camera. He trying to prevent the 50 of Christian Budd from using the outside line to his advantage by the looks of things, because it's definitely not the heating thing right now. As now, oh, Christian Budd just about slipped his nose underneath the 94 car of McKee. Getting a big gulp of air. will also have been looking to try and get up on his insiders. Now here comes the outside line again. And Christian Budd missed his chance to join in on it and gain the momentum off it. So here comes Calhoun in that outside line. And he is getting a big push from Chris Champeau there in the 2 car. They pulled up even with the 50 and the 90. Time for them to start pushing on through. As there is Justin Botello in the outside line. 69 car in the standings, the 20 car on track of Justin Botello. These drivers going hard and fast at the moment, trying to get whatever advantage they can get at the moment. At the moment, it's not all about track position, but it is about making sure you can stay away from wherever the wrecks are. That's whether you should be at the front or at the back. Both strategies have their pros and cons. Keith Calhoun now launching his way towards the outside line, trying to get around McKee. But Justin Botello all by himself in that 3rd lane, showing us how it's done. Made his way up to the 9th position since the restart. He's been doing it himself there on the extreme outside line. He falls back into the middle line now. And we go 3 wide again. As the 28 car, that is Zach Floyd, goes into the outside lane to try and get around Chris Champeau. 20 of Botello is right on his tail. And we could have a 3 wide battle here for the lead. In fact, we do have a 3 wide battle for the lead. And just like that, Botello and Zach Floyd have taken over the lead of the 2nd lane. Can they take the lead of the race? Zach Floyd is definitely going to be leading the way at the moment. They're not clear, but they are close to it. Calhoun was trying to look to see if he could maybe take the outside line and get back around these two, but no one was going to help him. Now he's going to tuck in behind Justin, try and get this push going to get through to the front of the pack. Zach Floyd not wanting to hang Botello out to dry. Staying with him there on the outside line, even though he was clear before. And this time he does actually hang him out to dry. Botello now leading that outside line. Zach Floyd snuck his way in front of McKee. I think I saw someone else experimenting with some alternate dimensions there. Can't be too sure though. I was looking over at my timing software when it happened. Here comes Jabo, Justin Botello on the outside line now, getting the push from Keith Calhoun in the 14. Can these two do anything in that outside line? The answer is not at the moment. Zach Floyd surges ahead of them very slightly there in turns 3 and 4. 94 of McKee not quite able to clear Botello either. Here comes the push from the 14 of Calhoun. Who's going to lead this lap? It's still going to be Zach Floyd leading the way. We've got a very tight pack of cars right now. Just about everyone is in this pack. Got 3 cars right out the very back though. That's Hernandez, Burgess, and Pizzicami in 26, 27, and 28. About 4 seconds off the lead of this race. Another pack about four cars strong, about 2 seconds off the leading pack. That's Beach, Sanchez, Harmon, and Massia. Everyone else seems to be within this pack in some way, shape, or form. We are battling it out for the lead here. Take a look from inside the 50 car. Going to his driver cam. The 14 of Keith Calhoun. A little bit of a lift there as we're coming into turn 3. He's falling off the back of Justin Vitello now. There's J-Bo's car. There's his Twitch channel. If you guys aren't following him yet, I strongly suggest you do. The owner of Outrun Esports. And just all-round general good dude as now Chris Champeau picks up J-Bo. And Chris Champeau pushed Justin to the lead. Oh, the 94 of Daryl McKee jumping up the outside line just in front of J-Bo. Oh, what a camera angle. Absolutely magical seeing the bump drive happen that close. These guys look like they're trying to take the advantage now. Back to the outside cameras we go. Still being led by the 94 Daryl McKee, Zach Boyd holding on to P2. Daryl holding on to the lead now, using that draft in the outside line to his advantage. And for the next couple of laps here, excuse me, I think we are just going to crank it up. Alright, we're back. Looks like Jonathan Hernandez now has gone a lap down. Not sure why Jonathan was losing that pack that he was with. He is down here now in the 28th position, 1 lap down. Go back up to our leaders. Jabo, Justin Botello, has taken over the lead, but it's only very temporarily, as now the 2 of Chris Champeau, the sponsor of this event, leading the way. We go 3 wide just behind. The outside line now being led by Ashton Schleiss. And they're trying to take the advantage there with the 7 of Steven. We're now 32 laps into this race, so we're almost halfway. Starting lap number 33. Not sure what the pit run is looking like for these guys, or fuel numbers or anything like that. Oh, and we got a crash. Caution's out. All we see is a wall of smoke. Oh no, it's the 20 of Justin Botello. Let's go back and have a look at what's transpired here. Justin gives the 2 a push. Like Chris Champeau got a... Oh! There was an ugly push from the outside line there. I think that was Ashton Schleiss. 68. Justin holding his brakes like a true pro. Oh no, the 17 of Christopher Spencer, nowhere to go. Let's have a look at that again. From the 68. Oh yeah, bad push there from the 7 of Steven, sorry. That sent them around. Steven's gonna have some damage. The 11 car, I think that is, or it's the 77 of Andrew Perkins, gonna have some damage. So let's see if we can catch up with Justin. Looks like he's already third stage left from the turbo. Is not in. I can't have a quick chat with him. But I don't think there's one in the board that I can have a chat to about that one. But that's okay, we'll make do with what we got. Guys, we're going to go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, I think if we get a green flag run the rest of the way, we should be heading towards the finish. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Alrighty, we are back. And it looks like our order is going to be Daryl McKee, Chris Champeau, Christian Budd, Zach Floyd, Keith Calhoun, Mark Pentecoff, Chandler Sturgill, Ward, and Frank Isaacson wrapping out your top 10. In 11th, we're going to have Schleiss, Pashley, Bennett, Harmon, Rice. The 7th is Stephen, Burgess, Sanchez, Williamson, and Horton. Your top 20 with Myers, Perkins, Pizzicami, Masio, Beach, and Hernandez wrapping up the field. Unfortunately, DNFs for Spencer, Patello, German, Bell, and Harris. So that is the way that it stands at the moment at the halfway point, as we are officially halfway through the race on this particular lap. Cars go past the speed camera. Under pacing. Couple of bent cars towards the back. Very long pace laps here at Talladega. Very easy to fall asleep during the pace laps. Doesn't look like anyone here is going to be falling asleep anytime soon, though. Everyone's pumped up and excited for this race. Like we've got a couple of last minute takers for pit stops. On 1 to green right now. Cars quietly pace around the track. One really good thing about these pace laps being so long is that if you get damaged, you're going to have a long time to repair them. But if your car is so badly damaged that you have to tow to the pits, buggered. Tow time is immense. Notice the back of Matt Burgess's car says, "Enjoy the stripes, Thomas." Well, he's got to have Thomas get behind him to enjoy the stripes. And that little message. At the moment, Matt Burgess is behind Thomas Harmon. Thomas in 20th. Matt Burgess down in 24th. Coming out of turn 4 this time, pace car should be making the hard left turn into the pits. There he goes. Restart is on the leader. Chris Champeau, the sponsor for this event, starting the outside. We are off and racing.
Green flag.
He comes out to a huge gap at the moment. Chris Champeau looking like he wanted to take that inside line. Thought better of it, but then double thought it again and goes back down anyway. top 4 single file out and have a little bit of a gap over 5th, but that's closing very quickly. Chris Champeau now looking like he was going to go to the outside line, then double guessed himself again. Now Christian Budd's out there with help from Zach Floyd in the 28 car. And Chris Champeau now has the duty of pushing Darryl McKee. See if these guys can hold off that charge from the outside lane. I think they should be able to do it because it's only 2 cars, but I've heard that the 2-car tandem here is pretty strong. Just have to wait and see how it unfolds for them. As Chris Champeau now goes to the outside lane, leaving that Darryl McKee out to dry a little bit there. And the 2 leaders now, Christian Budd and Zach Floyd, clear of the rest of the pack, pull down and assume the race lead. Chris Champeau not looking so good there on the outside line, fell a little bit back, but now it looks like he's going to have a little bit of help here. And I think that is from the 21 car of Brian Chambliss, a slightly newer looking car. Front, we've got another little bit of a battle starting to form here. Here comes Darryl McKee on the outside with the 14 of Keith Calhoun. These guys helped each other out a little bit earlier, and McKee hung Calhoun out to dry there on the outside line. Let's see how they go this time. But they can't quite get the advantage at the moment. Now have 30 laps left to run in this race. McKee with a small charge this time by. Can they get the run coming off of turn 2 and take the lead away? We'll have to wait and see. A little bit of smoke there in the background. I'm not sure what that was from. McKee couldn't get clear this time by. Side drafting fairly aggressively there with the inside line. It looks like Keith Calhoun wants to try and get around him. We're going to open up the radio waves here for the drivers. Something that we haven't done yet. We're going to do it before, but then we've got that big crash at the front of the pack. These guys now still driving very hard, trying to get whatever position they can. As laps start ticking away, that track position is going to come more and more important. Definitely going to have to try and start finding those buddies that you work really well with. Staying at this outside line, not working out too well. Chris Champeau from 3rd could slide up there and try and take the lead away, but he's not going to do it this time. That outside line's starting to come back a little bit. They just got to keep themselves organised there on the outside. The more organised that outside line is, the faster it'll be. Some people actually say that outside line is more of an advantage than the inside line. Especially if you're more back in the pack. But this time McKee takes away the lead and leads Calhoun out to dry again. Calhoun getting the push from Clayton Ward now. Can these guys try and take the lead away?
Hey Brian, you can go on by. And we'll take the high side.
All game drop.
Good, I'm good. Maintain us on back. Just want to see how far and how fast or long it would get us there.
Info.
These 100 drivers working together there in the back of the pack. Trying to see how some things are feeling
Drop
for
in
them.
here, Jared, if you want, unless you want to go right through the back.
All good. Thank you.
Going high.
Clayton Ward pulling out of the line there. We heard him say going high on the radio. I think he was starting to overheat. Something Christian Budd doesn't look like he's struggling with at the moment. Keith Calhoun now getting the push from the 6 of Evan Rice. Evan every single week is one of those where did he come from kind of people. He started in 20th in this race, up into P6. Guys are still 2 by 2. That outside line still trying what they can to try and get the advantage. Keith Calhoun leads that lap. Keith Calhoun now with the big advantage takes down to the inside line. Going to give Evan Rice the opportunity to lead now. Oh, but Daryl McKee says, "You're not my leader," pulls to the middle line. And we go 3 wide for the lead. That stirred up the pack a little bit there. But it's working for him. Here comes McKee and Pashley. And right there as well is the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez, the car that was a lap down just before that previous caution. And here they go, Keith Calhoun on the outside with Pashley pushing. Calhoun goes to the lead. Pashley now leading the outside line, getting the push from Hernandez. Calhoun leads the lap. Pashley snuck in for P2 there. Clayton Ward was the fastest on that last lap with a 47.653. Still do have the radio waves open. Ashley just unable to lead that lap.
I'm hot.
Hernandez pulling out. Got temperature issues. Calhoun running very wide there in the corner, trying to maybe cool down his engine a little bit.
There, I was checking.
comes Pashley as the 54 of Daryl McKee started experimenting with the alternate dimensions. Don't want to be doing that too much or else you'll end up like Dustin German, lost in the void of nothingness. And Pashley, I think, is going to lead this lap. No, not quite. Pashley did not lead that lap. I thought he did. It was going to be very close. They're catching up to the lap car of Andrew Perkins in the 77. of Matt Horton now owes the channel $10,000 for taking out the camera. It looks like the 44 of Clayton Ward now pulls the record and goes out. Here comes Hernandez again.
Let's see where it's on a little bit.
This time Pashley leads the lap. Getting the big push from Jonathan Hernandez there. We have 18 and a half laps left to run in this race. This is where everyone's going to start getting a little bit more aggressive. Those bumps are going to start getting a little bit bigger and harder. And Hernandez now pulls out of the way. And McKee's going to retake the lead. But here comes Ashton Schleiss. What can Ashton do? Can he push the 9 car to the lead? Looks like we're also starting to get an outside line here forming with the 44 and the 18. That's Clayton Ward and Brian Beach. Brian Beach, the fastest talker in all of the Output Racing League. Pashley leads that lap. That's Clayton Ward, my apologies, not Ashton Schleiss. Pashley now pulling down to the inside line to take the lead away properly. And Daryl McKee, just like clockwork, straight back to that outside line to lead it. He wants that lead back. He doesn't want to be beaten by anyone. Ashton probably thought this is my chance to try and lead this line and try and take it to the lead. But nope, here comes Daryl McKee. Daryl definitely not making any friends here.
A6, inside keeps checking off quite a bit.
Now Ashton Schleiss is in the lead of that second
Clear
lane.
behind the C-50 on the 44.
McKee back in the lead of the race. Oh, Pashley now doing McKee's trick. Leading that outside line. Can he take the advantage? As everyone is just one big pack now. As we're coming to 15 to go this time by the side drafting there by Pashley. Here comes the push from the 68 of Schleiss.
Alright.
And that time Pashley led the lap.
Reckon.
Oh, we got a wreck in the back.
Safety car towards the flag.
Safety car is out. We got Beach, we got Bennett, we got Williamson. Got the 13 in there as well of Masia. I think the 78 of Pizzakemi might have been
You
involved.
good, Ashton? Don't worry, bro.
Let's mute radio again. Let's have a look at what's happened back here. Ryan Beach, oh, he hit the wall there. Hit the wall, got sideways, back down the track. And Bennett nowhere to go. Aaron Sanchez getting a little piece of the one car there. 13 of Travis Massia. Oh, nowhere to go. Phased straight through the 18 car. 81 of Corey Williamson, also nowhere to go. And Pizzakemi looks like he actually got through that pretty scot-free. Poor Jaron Sanchez carrying a little bit of damage there. Where grab a cat with 13 of Travis Massia. We'll just wait for him to jump into the lane there. Know that Travis is in the pits, so let's have a quick chat with him. Hey Travis, Corey up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much, man. A little bit of an unfortunate circumstance there. It's Dega. What happened from your perspective?
I just saw a crash up front and I tried to slam on the brakes and try to go low and I just locked up and just ran into, I think it was Brian Beach and T-boned him.
Yeah, that is not good at all, man. We were looking at the replay and it looked like you phased through him a little bit as well, adding that little bit of extra insult to injury.
Yeah, it happens. It is what it is. Sometimes you can't avoid them.
Alright, man. Well, before we let you go, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to say hi to my wife and son and thanks to Output for putting this on and you for the broadcast and great group of guys.
Alright, thank you very much, man. We look forward to seeing you again next week if you can't get back out.
I should be able to get out.
Awesome. Alright, man. Catch you later.
Thanks. Alright, bye.
Alright, guys. So that was the 13 of Travis Massia. I tried to drop him back into the other Discord channel, but it didn't quite work. Can't talk to Beach because he's not bored. What I'm going to do then is we're going to drag in the league owner and operator and only Mr. Jaron Sanchez. Hey Jaron, Corey up in the booth, do you have a copy?
I do.
Alright man, so a little bit of a cluster there in front of you, nowhere you could really go. What happened from your perspective?
Oh, I don't know. I was getting ready for a green flag stop, so I was adjusting my options, and then also I heard check it up. So there's no way I can avoid it really, but I don't think I got too much damage. I only had 16 seconds optional. I got on my RPMs. I think I'm still in this thing.
Having a quick look at your car here from broadcast booth, it looks like your front end might be a little bit worrisome. Just on the left side there, it's a little bit wrinkled, but apart from that, your car looks pretty alright.
Yeah, I think maybe I can still get a top 10 with this car. I don't know.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Good luck for the rest of the race, man.
Alright, thank you.
Alright guys, so that was league owner and operator Jaron Sanchez, unable to avoid that incident. And now let's talk to someone else that we almost never get to talk to. Like he's just coming out of the pits after getting some repairs. We're talking to the 81 of Corey Williamson now. Corey, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, a little bit of a unfortunate circumstance there. Blame it on it being Dega, but you were unfortunately caught up in that accident, unable to slow down in time. What happened from your perspective?
Yeah, it just looked like the 18 got up on the wall there and came back down the track and started stacking everyone up.
Yeah, man, how badly damaged is your car? It looks like you're still missing your hood at the moment.
Yeah, I'll be struggling here on out, I think.
Well, that's unfortunate to hear. Hopefully you can still get a fairly decent result out of this race, man.
Thanks, Corey.
Anyone you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I would thank Jaron for the league here and all the guys.
Alright, man. Sorry if I distracted you enough to make you miss your box. Good luck for the rest of the race, and hopefully get to talk to you in a much more brighter light in the near future.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty, guys. So that was the 81 of Corey Williamson. Unfortunately, a guy that we don't get to talk too terribly much to. Always in the wars a little bit. It so happens that this track is long enough where we can chat to him. And I think we should try and grab one here. Let's put... And we are going to try and talk to the driver of the one car, Brandon Bennett. Brandon, do you have a copy, man?
Hey, man, what's up?
Not much. Completely out of your control there. What happened from your perspective?
Yeah, man, so I felt like it was go time, so I was just slowly, methodically making my way up there. And the next thing I know is I see the 18 come down and swipe me on the side, and it was all she wrote from there.
Alright, now how bad was the damage for you?
So I had about a minute of damage to repair. I'm down about 22 RPM, so if I can get somebody to push me here, I should be all right.
Well, that's good to hear, man. Very encouraging. Hopefully, you can try and scramble a good result out of this.
Yeah, man, looking forward to the finish.
Alright, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to before we let you go?
Nah, just quick shout out to Jaron, you, Output League. Thanks for doing what you're doing.
Alright, thank you very much, man. Good luck for the rest of the race.
Thanks, man.
Alright, guys, there's Brandon Bennett caught up in that, and by no means of his own. But hopefully he can get himself a good result out of this. As we now head back into the front of the pack. Your order is going to be McKee, Harmon, Pashley, Floyd, Budd, Chambliss, Splice, Champeau, Sturgill, and Calhoun as your top 10, with Ward Rice, the 7 of Stephen, Hernandez, Isaacson, Horton, Penticuff, Burgess, Sanchez, and Myers as your top 20. Bennett, Perkins, Pisakemi, and Williamson wrapping up your field. Travis Massia is one lap down. And Beach, Spencer, Botello, German, Bell, and Harris are all OUT out of this race. Looks like we are going to be getting the green with 10 laps to go. So this is where it all counts right now. This is where everyone is going to be laying out all of their toilet paper, deciding who is going to be king of the hill. I had to make a toilet paper joke there. I just had to. I've been dying to do it for weeks. And there you go. We've finally done it, boys. The field now makes their way through turns 3 and 4. Hopefully for the final time under caution. For that, we'll just have to wait and see. This is the highest position Thomas Harmon has been in all day. He took 2, so did McKee. And so did Christian Budd. Pretty sure Pashley and Floyd also took 2. So your top 5's on 2 tyres. Everyone else behind them. In fact, your top 6 took 2. Everyone else behind them on 4. Pace cars in. The start is going to be on McKee. Harmon is going to be hard to beat though, especially when he's getting the push from Zach Floyd. Ashley's been showing some great pace. Who's it going to be? Let me know in chat. Who do you think is going to win this race? And we are off and racing for the final 10 laps of the Champs Speed Shop 175 here from the Talladega Super Speedway. Heath Calhoun, as expected, takes the early lead, but Thomas Harmon still holding on strong there on his outside. In fact, Zach Floyd is closer to him than Jared Pashley is to Calhoun. So this, to McKee. So this could be all she wrote as far as Thomas Harmon getting to the front of the pack. Zach Floyd is up there as well. They're both looking to take the advantage of the slow start by the inside line. And Harmon gets there and takes the lead of the race away as we go through turns 3 and 4. And looks like now McKee trying to do his usual trick of going to the outside to try and take over the lead of that line. We'll see if it works out for him this time. There's a little bit of a gap back to the second in line there. In fact, they're not wanting to push him. They have moved themselves to the outside. They're going to shuffle it back in the inside line, in the middle line there, sorry. But the two of Chris Champeau wanting to stay strong to that middle line, not wanting to go to the very outside, is now moving into pushing position there for McKee. I keep saying Calhoun, but Calhoun's back in 11th at the moment. He's actually 4th in line on that outside. And this is where things are going to start getting sketchy. We're 3 wide, 3 deep in the middle of the pack here. And now Zach Floyd takes over the lead of that middle line. Thomas Harmon holding on to that bottom line so perfectly right now. But Brian Chambliss leading the outside line, looking to take advantage. He's got Michael Sturgill pushing him. But that middle line, oh my God, has just taken the lead away. And Daryl McKee, I don't know how he's done it, but he's just taken the lead away. And so has Chris Champeau taking over the second position in that inside line. So McKee definitely one to watch when it comes to these big draft tracks. But keep an eye on that middle line now, because here comes Zach Floyd. That outside line starting to lose the momentum there with the 21. And the 90 cars starting to drop back. They don't have too much help there, because Calhoun has moved down to the middle line. Here comes Zach Floyd leading that middle line, trying to take the lead away from McKee again. He's going to be getting the help from the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez here, as these guys are definitely going to be starting jostling for positions. And the 88 of Hernandez looks like he's just pulled out of line. He must have been running hot. I don't know what is wrong with his car, but he keeps running hot every now and then. He might have suffered some earlier damage, and it just helps spike his temperatures a lot faster. Zach Floyd still in control of that middle lane, the 44 of Clayton Ward in P2. Heath Calhoun is 3rd in that middle lane. And now the 94 car is relegated to 2nd behind Zach Floyd. 44 of Clayton Ward still leading the outside charge. McKee unable to get to the middle to do his normal trick. Could see him try and take advantage of that here shortly though, but at the moment he's unable to. He does have the opportunity now if he wants to take it, but that outside line is losing momentum, so he won't want to, but he does it anyway. The outside line started to gain its momentum back. Clayton Ward giving him the big push. This is going to be McKee back into the lead, maybe. Not quite yet. He doesn't want to be a pusher. He wants to be a leader. We make our way through turns 3 and 4 again. Clayton Ward pulls out of the draft now. Moves towards the back. We see someone else try McKee's trick on him. We'll have to wait and see, but at the moment, Zach Floyd's still leading the way. Corey Williamson starting to fall back to the pack here. We knew that he was going to be down on power. It's going to be hard for him to try and keep up with the pack. And there's the evidence of it. He's down on the apron to stay out of the way, and we have another safety car. Big crash there in the background. Not sure who that was. I think the 44 of Clayton Ward was in that. It definitely looks like he was. See if we can see what's happened here. Like we've got check up already. Yeah, a better camera angle doesn't. Oh, let's back this up again. We see the 12 of Matt Burgess there in the middle. The 7 car of Stephen trying to make it 4 wide as they're coming around the 44. Comes down into the 12. And that's put both of them into the outside wall with the 44 of Clayton Ward. Big damage there for all 3 cars. Let's go back and have a look at that from inside the 78 car there of Brian Pizzakemi. Still at full speed. Quick reaction time there by the 78 to miss all of that. Just a slight little tap on the back of the 7. So that sets up a spicy meatball here for the end of the race, guys. Because that means that we are entering overtime. Green white checker will be activated this time by. But in the meantime, let's see if we can grab a chat with the 12 of Matt Burgess. We're just going to wait for him to get to his pit box because we don't want to distract him. Alright, he's in the box. Let's and we're just gonna drag him in empty channel. Oh. Up in just a second. Like he's staying to get some repairs done, so we'll grab him up for the chat now.
Brian.
Hey Matt, Corey up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I do.
A little bit of a cluster situation there, man. What happened from your perspective?
I have no idea. I just know I got hit in the right rear.
Like, as you guys were starting to come around the 4, 7, make it 4 wide on you guys. A little bit of an unfortunate circumstance because I think it was just he got a little bit spooked by the 44. Does that sound like it could be what kind of happened for you?
Well, I wasn't. It was. I thought it was maybe the 44, but I don't know. We have too many issues with.
All right, man. Well, I won't hold you here much longer. I'll let you focus on the rest of the race. Green, white checker. So good luck, man, for the rest of the race, and hopefully the damage isn't too bad.
Yeah, it was a minute and a half, so I'm probably gonna be slow.
That's unfortunate. Well, good luck anyway.
All right, thank you.
Guys, so that was a very dejected 12 of Matt Burgess there. Doesn't look like there's actually anyone else in here that I can drag up. So what we're going to drag up, someone who was kind of caught up in that, but not really.
Yeah, I'm not.
Now we're talking to the 78 of Brian Pizzakemi. Brian, sorry for interrupting your conversation there, but a little bit of a cluster situation happened in front of you. What was it like from your perspective?
It was just chaos. All I saw was kind of a car go up the track a little bit in the wall, and all I thought to do was just slam on the brakes and go down the track. Just didn't go down enough, and I kind of gave the 7 a little tap, but doesn't look like it was too much, so we're hopefully going to be able to go to the front.
Well, it definitely looked like a very minimal kind of tap. Was there much damage for you with that little bit of contact?
Not too much. Maybe a little bit of a fender bent in. Crew seems to have banged it out, so we should be okay. Engine seems all right, which has been my major concern. So going forward, we're gonna put this thing to the limit.
All right, man. We should be starting around 16th for the green-white checker here. Any strategy for getting to the front?
Right now, it looks like the bottom's been checking up, so it's gonna be find whoever I can push and maybe use the middle, even the third lane. We'll see. it's been pretty hard to get a run without a good group. So it's all a matter of how we can get this moving on the last on this restart.
All right, man. Well, very quickly, anyone you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, thank Jaron, all the output guys for racing, you for doing a wonderful job in the booth. This has turned out to be a wonderful race, and hopefully we can put on a good show for the finish.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much, man. Good luck for the restart. We'll be watching.
Thanks, Corey.
Alright guys, so that was a 78 Brian Pizzicami. Still a little bit positive that he could try and get a good result out of this one. But let's go back to the front of the pack now. Darryl McKee's going to lead the way. Zach Floyd, Keith Calhoun, Chris Champo, Ashton Schleiss, Thomas Harmon, Brian Chambliss, Pashley, Sturgill, and Sanchez wrapping out your top 10. Going to have Bud out of 11th with Hernandez, Rice, Horton, Isaacson, Pentecoff, Myers, Pizzicami, Burgess, and Bennett. They're going to wrap out your top 20. And it looks like we're going to have Clayton Ward 1 lap down. Actually, no, Clayton Ward on the lead lap in 22nd. Andrew Perkins is still struggling with those alternate dimensions. Travis Massier, the only car 1 lap down. So we are on 1 to green right now. And we are in overtime. Green-white checker. We only get 2 attempts at the green-white checker finish. So if a caution was to come out on the first of the restart laps here, we will get 1 more attempt at doing a green-white checker finish. If a crash was to happen on a white flag lap, then the race will continue as long as the leader sees the white flag and crosses the line for it. Guys, over on the Twitch side of things, if you are subscribed to XMcFly78X, please start spamming the green-white checkers in chat. I'd actually be more surprised if there wasn't people who were subbed to him in here, because he's been getting a lot lately. On the road to partner. Not a part of this league though. As we make our way off turn 4, the pace car is going to make that hard left turn into the pit lane right now. The restart will be on McKee. Be up to everyone else to try and survive from here, as the heart rates will be starting to go through the roof. Green-white checker at Talladega. For the Champ Speed Shop 175. Let's get it on. The green flag is out. We are racing. McKee with the early jump to take the advantage. Looked like Calhoun was right on his tail to give him the push from the get-go. Calhoun definitely one of the pacier guys that we've had starting behind the leader. Holding it up with him there. Pushing him along the back straight. Trying to keep those guys in the advantage. But Zach Floyd, no slouch. Just pulls his nose ahead of McKee at the moment. Getting pushed by Chris Champo. Chris goes a little bit high. That is going to render him out of this one. And Thomas Harmon is now pushing Zach Floyd. Can Thomas Harmon turn this into a beautiful piece of magic as he's trying to work his way into the lead? Leader 9 of Pashley sitting back there, third in line on that outside. And there's Jaron Sanchez with a little bit of left front damage that he's got, holding onto the pack and a good position as well. Getting about 4th back in that top row. That'll put him in about 7th or 8th position, depending on where he is relative to the inside line. As these guys now come through turns 3 and 4 for the final time, if a crash is to happen, it's going to stay green. Zach Floyd now takes the lead. But here comes Harmon. He's going to be coming on the outside. Was it too early by Zach Floyd? We'll have to wait and see. As we're coming through the tri-oval, remember the start finish line is after the tri-oval. Pashley is giving Harmon a big push here as we come through the checkered flag. There's a little bit of sideways motion. Calhoun wrecks across the line, but Zach Floyd wins it. Second place to Thomas Harmon. Darryl McKee finishing in 3rd, and all hell broke loose behind them. What a finish. Absolutely awesome. Jaron Sanchez comes home with 7th. Pashley in 4th. Calhoun in 5th. Ashton Schleiss finishing P6 there. Christian Budd back in a disappointing 9th. Jonathan Hernandez in P8. Guys, what a race. That was absolutely awesome. I think Zach Floyd already exited the track. So we're not going to see any burnouts on this one. So with that, we're going to go to a commercial break here, guys. When we come back, we will be having our driver interviews. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Alrighty guys, we are back and it's time to decide today's Hard Charger Award. Today's Hard Charger, someone who I don't think has actually received a Hard Charger Award before, but nevertheless, he still earned it, starting from, where was it, the 16th position, finishing in P11 with a gain of +5. We are talking to the 20 car of Derek Myers. Derek, normally we talk about, how hard it is to pass throughout the race and all that because we generally get, much bigger gaps of start to finish. But nevertheless, man, you're today's hard charger. What was the race like for you as a whole?
The race is just like any other Talladega race I'd try to approach, and that's right around in the back for most of it. And, in my mind, I'm thinking they're going to wreck, and, if they do, I'm probably not going to be involved in it. And there's never really the huge one today, and it didn't happen at the front of the field when the wrecks happened. It happened in like the mid pack, so it'd only take out of, I mean, from my knowledge, like 5 cars, maybe max. It was I have no clue. It's just a number, but and we get down there towards the end. I'm thinking when we have that restart to 10 to go, everything, people are going to start driving crazy, or and possibly the big one would happen then, and the big one never like really happened, and I just found myself back there in the middle of the pack and kind of made the bed for myself that on that green white checkered, I was banking on there being another one possibly because they would be a wreck on that restart, and there never was, and I just kind of was took what I could get, and I was an 11th place finish today. So, not how I want to finish, and not the way I want. I mean, the hard charger is great. Better than about the only thing I got today at the track. So,
And it's definitely a bad result considering how easily it could have all gone wrong. But nevertheless, I think you handled yourself quite well. I think go to the back strategy and work your way through later is definitely a solid strategy. But it seems to have worked out for you. Nevertheless, it's a top 15 finish, which with how big the fields are, just finishing in the top 15 alone is a bit of an achievement. So well done. It's a good point stay for you, man.
yeah, we've had some rocky races for sure, and we've just been swinging for the fence, trying to get a win. After how we started the season, we literally started really well, and it's just been hit or miss lately, and it's been a lot of misses, and that sucks. I hope it can change, but we have so many great drivers in here that you can't expect to be the top of the board speed wise every week, and you just gotta. That's why it's a race, and anything can happen, and there's so many people in these races that have a shot to win legitimately, and it's not. It's just hard, and it can be frustrating. And I hope we can get on top one of these weeks and talk to you from a winner's perspective. But because that's where I want to be, and I'll continue taking the home run swings if I have to, because I just want to win, man.
All right, now let's have a look forward towards next week. We're going to Dover. What's the feeling like heading from the biggest track on the schedule to a very high banked, small little concrete track like Dover?
I'm definitely looking forward to that. I mean, I haven't really looked at the schedule, but now that you say Dover, I like that in this car. I mean, it not really much break. I mean, it'll be an interesting race for sure. I'm going to want to qualify up front for sure, and it's a narrow track, so if anything happens up off the corners, it can collect multiple cars, and it can be treacherous for sure. And it might be that way at the start of the race next week, but I expect a great race, and I expect you know some great competition as usual, and I better be on my game if I want to be up there towards the front.
That's exactly right, man. Now, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to before we let you go here today?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my teammates at Smoke Show Racing, and I'd like to thank Jaron for putting it on the league you know as he's done for the past few seasons, and or that I've been a part of, and it's the best league I'm in, and I look forward to it every week. And thank you for the broadcast. I'm sure everyone had fun watching, and I'll go back and look at it a little bit and watch that finish, and I'm sure it was great too. So thank you.
All right, no worries, man. Congratulations and good luck next week at Dover.
Yep, see you there.
All right, guys, so that was the 20 of Derek Myers, today's Speedway Memes Hard Charger Award winner. Coming up next, we're going to have our third place getter today. He was up the front the entire race, executing the perfect strategy to try and stay in the lead every single time he got past. Of course, at the moment, we are talking to the 94 car of Daryl McKee. Daryl, that was an amazing race by you and great strategy every single time you got past to try and get the lead back again.
Thanks, Corey. Um, yeah, I had that in mind from the beginning. I didn't want to get stuck on the bottom, and as more cars came up the outside, just kept getting pushed back. So anytime I had a chance, I had the room on the outside, I wanted to get back to the top there and try and get pushed into the front, into the lead there. So seemed to work out for the 99% of the race at least.
Yeah, it only seemed to be that last time that it happened that it didn't really work out for you, but it seemed like you were waiting for the perfect position to be able to do it because you weren't doing it while the outside pack there was falling back a little. But as soon as they started to get a little bit of momentum behind them, that's when you'd step up and take the.
Yeah, I just, if there was a spot and there was, you could see cars coming, I was going to try and take that spot and leaving the gap that I left behind the leader helped slow him down too, while I'm getting a little bit of push. So it almost, you know, was a double whammy there. But yeah, the last lap, the outside line was hooked up real good, and I didn't have room to get out there, so I just hooked on Zach's bumper and just didn't lift.
Right now, let's talk about the race for a whole. You, it was quite the interesting race. We never really big one. Did have a lot of little ones to break up the action a bit there. We taking advantage of those little bits of lulls in time to try and keep your mind occupied while you guys were pacing around.
Yeah, definitely. The first wreck we didn't have a yellow. I'm not even really sure how it happened. It was right off the green, and the pack, our lead pack, kind of got out, and I thought we would, be set up really well. Then we got a normal yellow, and it helped uh, keep my mind uh, on the fuel because there was a little bit of fuel strategy here. We were going that way, and then the last couple of cautions kind of put that out of the game plan. But definitely was intense, racing that close and trying to be clean. So the cautions definitely helped.
All right, man. Now we're going to Dover next week. What's it the feeling like there for you going to what I would consider, compared to this track at least, a small little concrete bull?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite tracks really. Um, really like that track. I think I get around there pretty well, so I'm looking forward to it. Um, so yeah, I'll be there, ready to go.
All right, man. Well, that's all here. Anyone you want to give a quick shout out to before we let you go?
Just thanks to Vidovich Racing, um, and just thanks for all the guys racing here. Thanks to you for putting this, stream on, putting the broadcast on. I appreciate it.
All right, no worries, man. Thank you very much for coming and racing, and congratulations again on P3.
Thanks, Corey.
All right, guys. So that was the 94 Daryl McKee, today's third place getter in what was a fantastic result. Coming up next, we're talking to a man who changed his paint, but he didn't change his number, as we just found out. But nevertheless, that didn't slow him down any. We are, of course, talking to today's second place getter, Thomas Harmon. Thomas, that late race surge for you just about worked out in your favor. What was the race like for you as a whole?
Kind of boring, but that was kind of by design. I didn't want to be up there and get caught up in something that wasn't my own doing. And then made a late run or late race surge, which is kind of my thing with these plate tracks anyway. And within a couple laps of that, right before that last caution, I made it went from like 20th to 7th in a couple laps, and uh, the finish was pretty exciting though. That was definitely a lot of fun.
A lot of fun indeed, and I'm pretty sure it was actually because of you having such late race pace there that Darrell wasn't able to execute his normal move of where he'd slide up into the front of the middle line there and try and take advantage of that. So, congratulations on holding back what was the most dominant car for the entire race there. Uh, but let's talk about those early few laps. We had that one crash on the first lap that didn't cause a caution. What was it like for you as you started pretty far back in the field with that little bit of separation between yourself and the front pack?
It was a little bit daunting. It, I was hoping it wouldn't go green at that point, but at the same time, I didn't want to see somebody else's race get wrecked. But unfortunately for somebody, it did. Fortunately for me, um, brought out a caution, and I was able to get my group was able to get back up to the main pack because I don't think we were going to catch them at the pace we were running.
All right, man. Now let's look forward towards next week. It's a track that I'm pretty sure you're good at because if I remember correctly, you've had at least one or two wins there. Going to Dover next week. What's the feeling like for you?
I believe we get the short track package for that, and I love.
Awesome. That's all we needed to know there for that. Go to 750 horsepower, the low downforce, right up your alley, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Especially at that track with this new tire model, I think I'll be looking good.
All right, man. Well, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to Only Originals esports team that I joined a couple weeks ago and got their logo on my car this week. Shout out to you up in the booth for broadcasting it to all the fans and rebroadcasting it. I think next day, isn't it? And um, Jaron for putting on the league, all the admins, driver council, and all the fans out there.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, Thomas. Congratulations on P2. Look forward to seeing what you can do at Dover next week.
I'll be there.
Alrighty, guys. So that was the 38 of Thomas Harmon, today's second place getter in what was a very nail-biting finish. And now coming up next, man who was there or thereabouts towards the front of the pack, right for the second half of the race, and with an exciting finish, gets the win. Of course, we're talking to the 28 of Zach Floyd. Zach, amazing move for you there at the end of the race to take the lead away and hold on to it. What was the race like for you as a whole?
Well, first off, I should say I can't believe I did that. It doesn't feel real still. But an early race started out, and we had that wreck that wasn't a wreck, and we got all spread out, and we're kind of just riding around then until a caution come out. I could tell that was how it was going to go. And then the rest of the race, I just tried to stay up front and be there at the end.
All right, man. Now let's talk about those that last green white checker finish. You started back just a little bit there, but you managed to take the advantage away from Keith. Away from Darrell, and not only just hold him, like get around him and hold him behind you, but you stopped him from gaining the advantage of the middle line there and taking the lead back away from you instantaneously. Was that sort of what the plan was, or was it just get out in front and see if you can hold it?
Well, I was getting a great push by Thomas there, and when I got out in front of Darrell, I didn't know if I wanted to stay up high or go down low in front of him, and I just decided to go low and hope it worked. And it worked out for me in the end.
It definitely did work indeed. It was definitely a nice piece of driving on your behalf there to hold on to it. But let's look forward to next week. Got the short track package at Dover. Compared to Talladega, it's a little concrete bull ring. What's the feeling like for you heading towards Dover next week?
I'm gonna need some big practice, but I do like the 750 package. I liked it a lot better than what it was last year, and I'm looking forward to it. And Dover's one of my favorite tracks. Hard to drive, that's how I like it.
All right, man. Well, that's awesome to hear, and we would definitely love to see what you can do there next week. But before we let you go, you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to Chris for sponsoring the race, and shout out to him for telling me about the league, and Jaron for letting me in. They put on a great show every week, and I love the league. This is probably my biggest win on iRacing so far.
All right, man. Well, one more quick question before we let you go. Why no burnout?
Well, I came across the line. I didn't know what to do, so I just hooked my car dead left and wrecked it. And then did a little burnout, but it blew up on me. I was too excited, so I just came across the line and just hooked it left, wrecked it.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on your win. It was definitely a very emphatic victory, and we look forward to seeing you again next week at Dover.
Yep, thank you.
Alrighty, guys. So that was today's winner, Zach Floyd, in the 28 car with what was an amazing finish there. Guys, we are about to wrap up the broadcast now. Thank you guys for coming out. It has definitely been a very interesting race, and what a great result for Zach. Definitely one of the biggest wins that we've seen here for a while. Very close victory. I'm having a look at a couple of screenshots that have already been posted into Discord, and the margin of victory not very much at all. So, guys, thank you all for coming out. On behalf of the drivers, the team, the league owner, Jaron, everyone in the Drivers' Council, and myself, Corey Steinhauser, here at the Aussie Sim Commentator channel, thank you guys for coming out and giving us a watch. Watching this back on the YouTube channel replay. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys all next week from the Dover International Speedway. But as far as the Camp Speed Shop 175 here from the Talladega Speedway, it is good night, good day, and good morning wherever you happen to be in the world. So, ciao for now.